G'day guys, how you going? Hope you're all having a fantastic whatever time it is in your part of the world. I'm back. Whether or not that's a good thing, that's up to you to decide. You may not like my reviews at all, but then again, why you be watching? So anyway, I'll shut up about that and I'll just get on with this review. So it's going to be a review. And in case you haven't read the title, you already know what this is going to be called. So anyway, it's a Danish film, Danish language, English subs, released in 2005, directed by Thomas Jensen, who I'm a big fan of. This one is called Adam's Æbler, or Adam's Apples is the English title. This is the official Danish release. Now this is sent to me by a very good friend, Magnus, Vaultkeeper2. He's a fantastic guy from Sweden. Probably my best friend here on YouTube. He was kind enough to, when he went to Denmark, he picked me up a copy of this because he knows I'm such a fan of Thomas Jensen. And I loved his other film, The Green Butchers. So he sent me this. I can say that although it's used, it is a perfect copy. It worked perfectly. So Magnus, you don't have to worry about that. I got through it without any troubles whatsoever. So I'm very thankful. And without your help, I probably never have seen this film. So anyway, the story is as follows. I can't read Danish, so I'm going to have to read it off IMDb. Not the best sort of synopsis rundown on IMDb, so after I've read it out, I'll give you my own brief description. So the story to this one is as follows. Ivan is a priest in a rural church known for the apples that grow on a large tree in front of it. He's odd, seeing the world through rose-coloured glasses, in denial about personal facts and convinced he's at war with Satan. The rectory is a halfway house for recently paroled convicts. Adam arrives for 12 weeks, a large, tough neo-Nazi. First baffled by Ivan's thick-headed optimism, then angry. He vows to break Ivan's faith. Meanwhile, in exasperation at Ivan's insistence, Adam sets a personal goal to bake an apple pie. So basically what we have, it's a rural church located in the middle of nowhere in Denmark, and this priest named Ivan is running this church. Now this church doubles as a halfway house for recently paroled convicts. There are a wide range of convicts in this house, as you can see on the front there. In this church there's a Muslim terrorist, there's a guy who is in denial about when he lost a tennis match when he was younger, and they've all gone off the rails, they've all got some problems. So Ivan is a very strange character. He's a priest who turns a blind eye to negativity. Every single negative thing that happens, he has an unreasonable explanation, a very positive attitude, but a very unrealistic attitude. And he has had a lot of adversity in his life, so this is a coping mechanism for him. So as the film goes on, you really do start to know exactly why Ivan is this way. So he's very, very odd and bordering on crazy. So anyway, Ivan, there is a new introduction to this church, and this is Adam, the main character. He's a neo-Nazi skinhead. He's a very angry man, and upon his arrival, he is very, very disobedient. So, like everyone in this halfway house, this church, like everyone else, Adam has to have a goal to reach before these 12 weeks are up. Now, this goal can range from anything. Everyone else has got something they're working for, and it turns out that Adam's goal is going to be baking an apple pie. Now, Ivan is very insistent on this. It seems very little. Adam doesn't want to do it at first, but he has to agree for it. So this apple pie is going to be made from the apples that are growing from a tree outside the church. When the apples are ripe, he's going to pick them and he's going to bake the cake. So that's his goal. But Adam, along the way, realizes just how unrealistic Ivan is, and he's burying his head in the sand to everything that's happening around him. And all of his explanations are very unreasonable. So Adam is starting to get very, very angry at this. And this is where his other goal is to really destroy Ivan's faith and show him the harsh realities of life, and that he can't hide everything behind, religion. So the film pretty much progresses from there. It takes twists and turns, so I'm not going to give anything away. Definitely a film you're going to have to enjoy for yourself. So if you want to know how it unfolds, and the showdown between Adam and Ivan, how that unfolds, then I'll highly recommend you go out there and check this out. As I said, this is the Danish release. I'm not sure where else you can get it. I know it's on Amazon UK, but it's going for a fairly hefty price. So if you can get it anywhere, then hopefully that rundown has given you some curiosity to see how it turns out. Now my thoughts on the film. As I said, I'm a huge Green Butchers fan. I thought that was a close to perfect film. It's a horror comedy, and so I had high expectations for this one. I was really excited because the same director, some of the same actors, but it's a completely different film. So I was going to see just how versatile Thomas Jensen was. Now this is not a horror comedy. It's a very dark comedy, this one, but it's more based around religion, whereas The Green Butchers had more of a horror element in it. So although it was the same sort of dark comedy, it was a very different story, a very complex story, and something that was so different from The Green Butchers. So, Green Butchers is a masterpiece. I was hoping that this one was going to come somewhere close to it, and I can thankfully say that it almost beats The Green Butchers. Butchers. It just doesn't quite get there because of the fact I think The Green Butchers was a little bit funnier. However, this one has much more depth. So it's really what you're interested in. If you want something that's going to really make you think about your own life, this one's to get. But if you want something that's a little bit more relaxed, Green Butchers is deep. But if you want something a little bit more relaxed and a little bit funnier, Green Butchers is the way to go. But if you're a fan of this director, then this is definitely something that's an absolute must. It's compulsory, because this is just fine cinema, and not many people talk about this one, which is a great shame, because Anders Thomas Jensen is a fantastic director, and he has his own specific style. You know that after watching this film, if you've seen The Green Butchers, you know it's the same director, because although it has a similar style, it's set in a different sort of atmosphere. But he uses the same sort of precise sort of techniques that he has. Now, he has very subtle humour, so not everyone's going to get it. It's not so much slapstick, although there is some slapstick comedy in there, but it's very subtle, and it's just the conversations that they have. And the fact that I found it very funny just shows how strong the humour is, because a lot of humour, especially with foreign stuff, gets lost in translation. However, the translation, it came across to me as a very funny film, and just like Anders Thomas Jensen's other film, it was also very funny. So I really like his style of humour. It's definitely an acquired sort of taste. If you like your humour that's more in your face and it's more slapstick, then I'd probably stay away from this. But as I said, if you like the more intelligent sort of humour, then Anders Thomas Jensen is definitely a director to check out. Now, also, apart from him being a versatile director, it also shows how versatile Mads Mikkelsen is as an actor. This is one of the most underrated actors in the world at the moment. He's a great Danish actor. He played a homicidal, sort of geeky, nerdy maniac in The Green Butchers, and he plays a maniac here as the priest, but he's a completely different maniac, so that shows his true versatility as well. And then you've also got Ulrich Thompson, who plays Adam, the main character, another great Danish actor, and he did an equally good job at playing a very angry man, and it really did clash with Mads Mikkelsen's character. But thankfully, no one in the whole film, stole the limelight. It wasn't Mads Mikkelsen who made the film, and it wasn't Ulrich Thompson who made the film. It was everyone combined, and that's really because Anders Thomas Jensen wrote the film and gave every single character the opportunity to shine, and that's exactly what happens. Every character is as interesting as the next, and although Adam and Ivan are the main parts of the film, you really feel that there is no real main role. Everyone has a role to play, and you really get a liking to everyone, because they're not cardboard cutouts, and they're not there just to make up the numbers. They're there because they are portrayed as real people, and as a result, it will really touch you, in your own personal life. Yes, it is a comedy, but it's a dark sort of comedy, and it really does portray a very deep message. And at the end of this, I was thinking about my own life, because bad things happen to everyone, and it's how we deal with those problems that make us the people that we are. And Ivan and Adam, they have very different ways of approaching their problems, but at the same time, they're very real ways of approaching it. And it shows you, different people, how they cope with different problems. And by the end of the film, everyone gets a fair indication of what's going on. It's not a film that preaches religion, so don't worry about that. It's not pro, it's not anti. It just shows you a very touchy subject, but done in a very unique way. So everything about the film is very good. As I said, just a little bit more humour would have made it perfect. But having said that, there are a few more than enough gags in here to make you laugh. But at the same time, I think the balance between a serious drama and a comedy were done expertly. Anders Thomas Jensen, his humour really does appeal to me. I know it's not going to appeal to everyone, but yeah, it certainly made this film what it is. And the ending was very, very good. It's a little bit far-fetched, but I thought it was perfect at what the actual movie was trying to portray. It shows that evil ways are a waste of time, and that Satan can be defeated. But as I said, if you don't want to go into the religious aspect, then you don't. It gives you the right to make up your own mind as to what's happened, whether it's a coincidence or whether it's something of a higher power. So it doesn't preach, and it lets you make up your own mind. So fantastic film, not quite as good as The Green Butchers. I'm going to give this 4 out of 5 stars. Now, at the end of my reviews from now on, I'm going to give it a score out of 5 stars. So this gets 4 out of 5. It's a very good film, very underrated. Not many people have seen it. I would highly recommend you go out there and see it. Very good humour, very real sort of touchy subject, very emotional sort of film as well. Very good character development, very, very good direction, very good soundtrack, and I can't speak highly enough about this. Words can't do it justice, so I'm just going to leave it up to you to find out just how good it is for yourself. So, very, very good movie from Anders Thomas Jensen. He's done it once again, And yeah, I would highly recommend you go out there and see it. So that's my review. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and until next time, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you later.